And here we are, Gibbon Gang Reunion 2. So, I got a call or a note from Doug Bratton saying, I miss our friends.
Yep, I
Can we do another Gibbon Gang reunion? And I said, okay, why not? And so here we are. And the link is pinned to the top. If anybody, old Gibbon Gangers, want to join the discussion, it's going to be kind of loosey-goosey tonight. Please feel free to do that. Just click on the link. I'll see you down there, and we'll let you join. So we have today, to my left, we have Mark Andrews, a mainstay of the Gibbon Gang. How are you? He's got one of the best T-shirts ever on. Fantastic. Right below him, we have Doug Bratton, the isolation writer. That almost sounds sad, Doug, the isolation writer. And then to Doug's right, we have Chuck Hensey, terrific comics and pop culture. How are you, Chuck? How's everything going with you down there in Raleigh, North Carolina?
We're doing great.
Looks like you're back home.
Yes, it's nice to be home. Yes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to see.
Not quite as fancy as a chest of drawers behind you.
I know. Your mom's house was really nice. I liked it.
Well, she was amused to watch her living room being turned into a sound studio. So
That's great. Well, before we get started, this is going to be a lot of fun. Again, if anybody wants to join, we're going to have some giveaways. We're going to do Reggie trivia. That doesn't mean it's all Reggie, but it's trivia like Reggie did. And we're going to have some giveaways for that, which we'll do as we go along. But let's take a look and see who we've got and who's joined us. All right. So we have the OG Tina. Yay! Yes, Tina. Where would we be without Tina? I don't know. I would cry if Tina was not here. All right. Las Cruces from New Mexico. Number 2 this time. Las Cruces, number two. James, you got to be quicker. On this. And we have one of my pals, Trev, the shipping guru. Trev, great to see you, Trev. Trev. I was on the train again today. I can't get on your Wednesday afternoon live show. I just can't do it. It's just not going to happen. All right. Who else do we have here? All right. Doug is saying hello to people. I see that. We have Trev. We saw a couple of other people. Here's Matt Woods.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt. Sorry you couldn't be here tonight. Hope you're feeling better, my friend, as we go along. All right. But I'm glad you're able to watch us. Okay. Well, Seth, 11. Yes. Another Gibbon Ganger. How you doing, Seth? Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Who else has commented? Yes, Jackson Roykirk. What are you giving out? Well, you'll see. We're going to give out some comics, I think. And we're going to ask some questions. And whoever gets the questions right will get the comic book, which I'll mail out to them sometime, either this weekend or next week, because I am going to New York Comic-Con tomorrow and Friday. Nice. And Doug's going to be there as well on Friday. Right, Doug?
I will be.
Yes, I'll see you there.
I'm seeing Brian. Some old friends in the chat. Someone Brian, surprised me. I'm not going to say until you get to him. Okay. It's an old buddy.
All right. Thanks for showing up, Brian. Appreciate it. Yes, Brad Wellbore. Yes. Hashtag Gibbon Gang. That's what we got to do. Excellent. Well done. Let's see. And Matt says, I wish I was on the show, but it is cool watching as well. It's because you see this beautiful face, I didn't even shave today just for you. All right. What are you laughing at? Black comic characters. Yeah. Whoa.
Yay.
Don. Wow. Hey, Don. Good to see you, my friend.
All right.
Great to see you, Don. I was so excited when I saw you in the chat.
Oh, how excellent. Fantastic. Hope you're doing well. We got, there's no more GarageCon, so it's not like we can even see you down there. So maybe you should join. You were on one of the comic book crowds a while back. If you want to be on again, just let me know, Yes, Seth, we have Spine Ticks here. Hey, good to see you. Thank you for showing up. We really appreciate it. Stick around. We're going to give away some stuff. Anybody else we have here? CJ Design stopping for a drive-by. Well, thank you for that. I drive by. That sounds pretty good. I like that. Who else do we have? CJ Design. We got Seth already. I think we got everybody here. Okay. If other people join, or obviously there's more people than have put a comment in, but we can stop if they comment and say hi to them. So one thing that I started thinking about when you mentioned this, Doug, that you wanted to do this, I started thinking about appearances. I know that Doug holds the record for the most guest appearances on Reggie's channel. Doug, do you happen to know how many times you appeared as a guest on Reggie's channel?
I never counted.
Come on. You sure did. Right behind you, I see the little stick figures.
I hit the punch card. I got the punch card from Master Blaster. So I know I filled the punch card.
You did.
That was the last thing. I lost count. I wanted my pillowcase.
You wanted your pillowcase. All right. So you got that. Yeah, I don't even know where my punch card is, but that's okay. I only had like 2 or 3 punches in it, All right. Now, how about the rest of you guys? I mean, haven't you... Yeah, hello, CJ. Oh, Frog Roller. That's one. Matt jumped up. Frog Roller, how you doing? Good to see you.
Day.
Thank you for showing up. Jerry the Jitterbug, one of my faves. How you doing, Jerry? Good to see anybody else here. I think those are the new ones that have joined us. Okay.
Doug
Chuck and Mark. Chuck and Mark, how about you guys?
I don't know. I filled up a punch card, but I couldn't tell you.
You filled up you see?
I think so. I think I filled up a punch card. Yeah.
Mark, Reggie liked these 2 guys better. How about you?
I don't know. I didn't want to mar my punch card because I'm a purist, so I didn't, punch holes in it. But I got on a few times, and I don't know, half a dozen, maybe
25 punch cards.
Yeah, maybe. I did a couple of times. I did get mentioned a lot, which was a little creepy sometimes.
And why was that? Why did you get mentioned?
I don't know, because Reggie and I would get chatting back and forth about something and having really good discussions, and then we would that topic would get chatted about. Reggie would mention it and stuff, and then I'd wait for the commentary and the chat to put me back off my pedestal and humble me some more.
Well, I'll tell you something. I was trying to figure out why. I know why Doug was on all the time. You had the business dealings with him too, and you did the the blog on his website, right? Yeah. You also had a lot of good knowledge that he appreciated, and you were very, how can I put this? You just came across as a really smart person, and I think that Reggie appreciated that. Now, when I went on, he saw me as a DC hellhole person, and he would say and he'd ask me these questions. He'd want me to say one thing, but I'd say something completely different, and it was part of, my lawyer background trying to kind of go after him and say, well, I don't agree with you on that, Rich.
Yep.
So I think
it worked.
It worked.
It worked. I only got on 2 or 3 times. That's why, Plus, he was a Marvel guy more. Come on, let's admit it. He did, man. He did buy DC books, and on his wall behind, I would compliment him. So did Trev a few times, for the DC books that he had there. But they were all like these fairly expensive, nice DC books to have. Yep. It's not like he said, "Let me see what I've got in my, 100,000 book collection." And oh wow, I got this DC book. It was like, hey, I think if I got 20 of these books, and I think I can send them all to CGC. If I get 9.6 or higher, I'll keep 1 or 2 for myself because they're worth money, and I'll sell the others. So, since I was a DC guy, I think we DC guys get discriminated against by the Marvel guys, but we as DC purists also love Marvel. It's just the way it goes.
Joe, I don't know if Reggie ever publicly talked about, he might have on the show, but once he kind of got his Marvel Silver Age first appearances, he was quietly going after the Silver Age Rogues Gallery for Batman. and he
Yeah.
got a lot of nice DC books when he was doing
He
that.
did. He mentioned that. He said because he wanted to have one of the best collections, and he realized that I guess he needed to go after some of these DC books in order to be able to get that. So
Yeah.
I'm being a little tongue in cheek here with respect to this.
I did find it was interesting when he would talk about the length of the hobby, like the duration, the legs of the hobby, and he would mention Joe, you and I, and Chuck as he would hope that he could be as enthusiastic about the hobby as we are when he got to our age, which was sometimes of a crack about ageism. But anyway, but like I think that's the other thing that he did when he brought on guests from everywhere and new to the hobby, old to the hobby, writers, and very knowledgeable, and like Chuck could talk about Dell and Gold Key and stuff for days on end, and I can just BS with the best of them. So, and you're a lawyer, that goes without saying.
Yeah, but what I say is like kind of just saying words to sound like I'm intelligent. But Chuck, you, Mark, and Doug are really smart and know a lot. And I learn a lot from you guys every time you're on. Certainly when you were on Reggie's, but even when you go on one of my shows, it's always amazing. And I just love the way Chuck will sit down there. And I said, well, I don't know this. Let's wait for Chuck to comment on it. Or Chuck, when Chuck doesn't remember something, he goes, I'm waiting for Mark to come up with the answer.
Yeah. See, thankfully, Don's on now, so we can just both sit there and defer to him. So
absolutely. We can just defer. It's kind of nice when you can defer. That like there's times when I'm sitting there and Chuck's talking about something and I'm going, okay, brain, this. File, dig, wait. It's brutal. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, what people don't understand is they say you're a DC guy, and I've told this story before. I think at least once or twice. I might have even done it on Reggie's channel. When I was younger, if you take a look at all the comic books that I show on the Comics Mem Let Me Keep, almost all of them, or many of them, are Marvel books.
Yep.
I was very much into Marvel. I mean, I was there at the beginning, with Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko and all the stuff. I mean, they were so different, those books, and they were so good, other than, I mean, I did buy my share of DC comics as well because I loved the characters, but those books were so much better generally, and so for me, that was important. It's only when I got back into the hobby around, I don't know, it was like around 2006 or something like that, 2005, 2006. I tried to pick up again Avengers, X-Men, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four. And other than Spider-Man, who I thought was still pretty good, I liked the stories, the others just didn't capture me. It was confusing. I didn't know what was going on. X-Men became like weird. It was like, I mean, I think they still do it. I mean, many X-Men stories and X-Force and X this and that and whatever else.
And
I think what happened was,
we wrap Wolverine into the story? Just
right. So what happened was, I think that I maybe I came in at the wrong time, or it was just too difficult to pick up. It wasn't that difficult to pick up on the DC stuff.
No.
At least that's the way it happened to me. So I just started gravitating towards that. I did collect Spider-Man up until last year. I have a ton of Spider-Man books, but because I still enjoyed Spider-Man, up until about 2 years ago. Even Reggie used to talk about that, remember?
Mm-hmm.
But it was funny watching Reggie from, Spider-Man's great, Spider-Man's great, to, well, this could use some improvement, to near the end.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
It was funny because, it was really mirroring, I think, a lot of our feelings about the title. Because I know for me, I picked it back up after the body swap back, because I had dropped it since one last day.
You're talking about Superior Spider-Man? When you say
I picked it up after Superior Spider-Man.
That was a fantastic story.
Well, see, and that's what got me back into reading it. Everyone talked about how great that was. So I said, okay, I'm gonna give it a chance, and it was good for a while, and then it fell apart. And Solly, I pick it up occasionally now at the store just to flip through it, just out of curiosity. And it's kind of like looking at, an old friend who, has gone crazy, and you check in on their Facebook page every once in a while and go, yep, still crazy. And
what was the name of the writer that screwed it all up? I forget his name now.
That was Zeb Wells, I think it was.
No, he came in afterwards.
Oh, Zurcher?
Who?
Was it Zurcher? Patrick Zurcher?
No, that's not it.
Okay.
That's not it.
I don't know, because I just gave up, sadly.
Yeah.
And that's
I still collected, but then when they changed writers and they came up with a new volume, I was very hopeful. And so I didn't read from number 55 till whatever the end was, because it just annoyed me. But I had the books, right? And then when the new volume started, I said, I'm just going to buy, I'm not going to buy multiple, covers. I'm just going to buy one cover, whatever else. And I started reading it, and I read 2, 3, 4, 5 issues, and I said, it's not any better. And I think I collected up to number 20, and then I said, that's it. And I feel bad, because that was 18, 17, 16 years of buying Spider-Man, and I stopped doing it.
And then you stopped. Yeah. One thing I did like about Reggie's Wednesday, like the what did you pick up today and let's talk about, it gave a platform for a lot of the smaller titles, the short, like I don't want to, Image is not an independent, I know that, but I always have grouped it as one, but a bunch of books and titles that we wouldn't normally be talking about because it wasn't DC or Marvel. Right. And I always appreciated that. And that way he and I would get into those discussions offline, away from the show about this book, that book. And I would recommend some stuff to him. And then we would kind of break it apart to see what we thought. And I do miss that, because you really don't get the new
fantastic.
Yeah, and people love it. You just don't get. We don't have that platform to throw those different titles out there and talk about them. And I always really like that.
Yeah.
They're 60%. Oh my goodness!
Have fun, Fly.
What'd you get, Chuck?
I was going to pull out one of those books you mentioned.
Yeah, which one?
Not everybody's talking about, but that's really good. But I gotta get my hands on it though. So, because
Pretty Fly's going to the pumpkin patch, looking for the great pumpkin.
Those days are over for me.
Here we go.
I eat pumpkin pie though.
Some fun people in the
Flash
chat.
Gordon.
Flash Gordon. I have.
Now, are you liking it?
Yes, I am.
Good.
I am. I'm enjoying Defenders of the Earth too. So
Oh, there you go.
Is that by Mad Cave Studios, Flash Gordon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm reading,
I have a couple of issues that people gifted me, but I've been I didn't really want to read it because I didn't want to go out and start buying it. Because people said, "Oh, you should read this one too." I said, "No, I love Flash Gordon from when I was a kid."
Yep.
I used to watch the Buster Crab, old serials on TV and stuff like that. But
I'm reading the new Space Ghost, and I'm actually quite enjoying it.
That's another one.
It's very good.
It is good.
And Johnny Quest is not half bad either.
No, and they threw a real kind of a curve into the whole thing, which I went, okay, this is going to be interesting. So I'm liking it too. I'm just reliving the great cartoons of my youth.
Yeah, and I used to watch, even though I was older, I love Space Ghost.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on.
So when I saw these, I came out and I said, these are really cool, So you're right. So these would be, we're trying to duplicate a little bit about like what Reggie does. So I think that's kind of what we're doing here.
Yeah.
That was a great outlet. You're right.
It was. It was.
Yeah. Dynamite apparently, and I put it in the chat, apparently is putting together Herculoids miniseries.
Are they really?
So yes, I've seen it solicited on Twitter. So.
Oh, wow.
Well, that'll be interesting.
Yes.
So you know what? Before we go on, we've been talking for like 20 minutes.
Okay.
Me mostly, probably, because I'm a big mouth. But why don't we do the first trivia giveaway? All right.
All right.
Okay.
And we'll have at least 2 more, I think. So for the first giveaway, it's going to be a where is it? Hey, I just had it here, right, guys? I was showing it to you.
You did.
You did.
Oh, here it is. Thanks to Jerry the Jitterbug. Part of of that ton of books that he gave me was this packet. I think I have to make myself big, of 3 great Marvel comics at one terrific price. The price for you is going to be $0. All right.
Nice.
So there's 3 comics. I don't know what they are other than the Moon Knight at the top, at the front there. So that's going to be the first giveaway. And it's going to be a Marvel question. Okay. And the questioner is going to be Mr. Mark Andrews. So Blue Wrenches and everybody here, let's watch and make sure that people get the right answer. I don't know what the right answer is because I don't know anything about Marvel. So I'm just going to wait for you guys to tell me who gets the right who has the right answer. So Mark, why don't you ask the question and everybody listen up and let's see.
So there's a question within the question. If you know this, you may actually get the rest.
Of course, Mark, you got to make it difficult. Make it easy.
I got to make it difficult because it's Marvel. So
yeah, it's got a Moon Knight Walmart variant. It's a Walmart pack.
Yeah. So you ready? What supervillain group did Martin Blank join to seek vengeance on Spider-Man? Now, first of all, who's Martin Blank?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So repeat the question.
What supervillain group did Martin Blank join to seek vengeance on Spider-Man?
John, this is a trivia question for a Walmart Marvel pack.
So I will. When do you want me to give the first hint, Joe?
Well, I think Tina's given the first hint.
Can't think of the gang. Okay, so the first hint, the members of the gang included the Kangaroo, the Grizzly, and the Spot.
Tina says the Craven Bunch. Is that it?
No.
Yeah.
See, my question would have been easier.
Yes, your question would have been much easier. So the second hint, the first appearance and only appearance that I know of was in Spectacular Spider-Man 246.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
Look up Spectacular Spider-Man 246, everybody.
I'm saying Google it, everybody.
First of all, I haven't seen once.
Brad says the Marvel bad guys.
The Marvel bad guys. It's pretty close. I will give another. What the superheroes called them to make fun of them is they called them the Legion of Losers, but that's not what they called themselves.
Jackson says our gang.
No.
I promise you my question is significantly easier than this one.
So is mine.
This has got to be the worst named gang ever.
All right. It doesn't look like anybody's going to get it.
Okay, so
give us the answer, and I'll give him one of my questions.
Okay, but before I give him an answer, the first person who puts in the chat who Martin Blank is might win the package. How's that, Joe?
No, because somebody
He's a bad
already
guy.
did it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it. Okay. Yeah. So the answer is, this is a horrible name. They came up with themselves. You ready? They called themselves the Vengeance, or excuse me, the Legion of, or excuse me, Spider-Man Revenge.
You don't even know the answer, Mark.
I do. I was reading the wrong line. Spider-Man Revenge Squad.
There you go. Spider-Man Revenge Squad. Why didn't you guys get that?
That is terrible.
They clearly read too many DC
Question
comics.
the name.
The name
That's
is
awful.
awful. Like, I
That's
swear
an
a
awful
DC
name.
writer was doing Spectacular Spider-Man in the day. But I thought maybe somebody who really knew who the Gibbon Gang, or who the Gibbon was, might know that.
That's all right. You people that teach, you always want to make difficult questions up for people, you know?
Tell me if you
Yes,
want me to give a
Spider-Man
really
Revenge
easy
Squad
one,
stinks.
Joe.
It does.
I think I have one that's pretty easy.
Okay.
I have one that's fun, and people will be able to guess if they know the answer, okay? This is for the Marvel pack. How many fingers on both hands, including his thumbs, does the Thing have? So the Thing has how many fingers on both hands, including his thumbs? Write the answer down. You can guess this one. John, correct. 8.
There you
8
go.
is correct. He has 8 fingers on both hands, including his thumbs. You are the winner of the Marvel pack. John, I don't think I have your address, so IG me, send it to me at Anachronic_comics on IG. I don't know if I have my IG thing here, and I'll send it on off to you. See that, Mark? That's the way you do it.
Well, you told me, you asked me like 20 minutes before we came on the air, so I had to like.
I didn't want you to feel left out.
I never do. I was going to say, what's the second appearance of the Gibbon? And then I realized, wait a minute, it's like over my shoulder.
Yeah, there it is.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so we got our first winner. Fantastic. Congratulations, John. No, well, we're not saying how many toes. We just went with both hands. Okay.
Did you say hands or digits?
Well, fingers, right?
Okay, because if you said digits, that's including toes, which I think, you know,
I didn't
like
say digits. It said fingers. All right. So one thing also, I think we can maybe we can show this now. What do you think? Unless you guys want to have something else you want to talk about. We talked about new comic books. We talked a little bit about appearances. But, you know, Reggie at one point in time, 16. Yeah.
Sully liked my question.
You know, Jackson you're wrong. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Tina, I mean, I publicized as much as I could, you know, but if we may have another one in a few months or whenever. And if we do, and you see it, let people know. I mean, I tried to send it to a bunch of people. Okay, we got Don here tonight, which is fantastic. Yeah. I sent it to some others, you know, so they don't have to participate. They could just be here and we can talk a little bit. It's really fantastic. So anyway, so what was I saying? Oh yeah. So one thing, you know, and thank you, Tina. She shared it to 1G on this in Discord. One thing that I felt really bad about because I wasn't asked to do this. Neither were you, Chuck. Neither were you, Mark.
You see.
And it's this. I'll play this from a Reggie show of about 3 years ago, I think. Okay.
Of course, anytime, man.
See ya.
Later.
Hey, my name's Doug.
My name is Wesley Campbell.
Matt Woods here. Hey, I subscribe to Reggie Collects on YouTube.
And I subscribe to Reggie Collects.
And if you want to see the best creator content on all of YouTube,
And if you want some robust comic book conversations,
you should subscribe to Reggie Collects too.
I encourage you to subscribe as well.
you will not be disappointed.
So now, let me just say something.
Wow.
I could do much better than any one of these guys that were over there, right?
You
Well,
could.
Doug was looking like he was like pretty serious.
Yeah,
like,
Doug was in the ice, like he was ready.
yeah,
to be
like
shot.
I felt like, holy cow, Doug's gonna like come through the screen at me. What was that?
I
So
didn't
yeah,
know
the
to film
commercials.
sideways. I filmed straight up and down.
You did, yeah. so that's the that was the commercial. So I was hoping Matt would be here so he could see the commercial as well. But you know, it just was kind of interesting to see that and go back and see it and to pull out that clip because you know that was a time. Now, I don't remember exactly how he came about. I remember he was thinking about, was he trying to get to, was it like 20,000 or something? I think it was in connection with him trying to get
It
to
might have
some.
been 10.
Might have been
Was that
10.
10?
Might have been 10,000. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a while back. So
Yeah.
you know, so that might have been it.
We
Where
can do
is
that
that?
for you, Joe.
No, what you want to do that for me?
Could. We
No,
could do it. Oh, we could. You trust us. Just give us the put us all on live one time, and we'll do a commercial for you.
That's okay.
It'll be fine.
That's okay. I'm not looking to make money on this thing or anything like that. Matter of fact, I've been putting so few things on now, you know, because I've kind of like stepped back a little bit of doing all the videos and things. Although I have a lot of ideas and I'm putting some stuff together. I'm not like rushing to put out two or three videos a week and stuff like I was doing maybe about 6 or 7 months ago. So I'm still getting some subscribers, but my hours have been dropping, so I'm never going to get to the 4,000.
Yeah, but Don said he'll do a voiceover. That'll get you subscribers.
Oh yeah, Don.
I'll say that. Yeah,
That would sell. He's got
Go
That would
viral
be
right
fantastic.
there.
he's
That'd
got
be
that
fantastic.
dulcet voice.
I might reach out to you for that, Don. I think that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Jack says, I'm Jackson when I have nothing better to do. Yeah. Yeah.
I watched Joe.
Anyway. So, all right.
See,
So
that's why you'll let Tina do the timeout thing, Joe, because you would be timing out people too quick.
Well, Jackson, I've kind of gotten to the point where it kind of just goes over my head. You know what I mean? Thank you, Don. Thank you, Don. We'll think about it. Actually, I do have something that I'm working on, and maybe not for this one, but I haven't really been working on it recently. But I have to because at first. Was a Pretty Fly said he was going to do something for me, but he just doesn't have the time. So I have to pull it out and work on it myself. But I have something else that I was thinking about getting some pals to do voiceovers on. So when I do that, Don, when I got that one ready, I might ask you to do it. I think it'd be really cool. It's got to be the correct character and everything for you to do, though. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know on that.
Cool.
Anyway. So I think that I mean, how many? I was not watching Reggie when he was in his kitchen.
No,
I know Tina was.
I wasn't.
Yeah. How about you, Doug?
That was before my time. I think I found him when he had around 6,000 subscribers.
Okay, that's pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he had his comic room. He was in California still, but he had his comic room. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in California when I found him, and it was just, again, COVID, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Jackson said, I had nothing better to do, so I was cruising through the internet, and it was the content that and the platform and just the discussion topics, and I got hooked.
Yep.
Yeah, before me too. Well, the thing about, I was looking for somebody because I now have been cleaning and pressing comics when I have the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot of time. And so I've got downstairs. I might actually do a little video for the members, which all three of you are members. Thank you. To kind of show them at least how I have it set up downstairs. It's a little messy. Plus, I'm putting together the mystery boxes for cancer that I worked with, in C3 and so forth. So that the boxes are down there and all this. So it's a little bit of a mess down there. But I've been trying to clean up a little bit in preparation for my move. But one of the things that I was looking for is, how do you clean comics? What do you do and stuff like that? Mm-hmm. And so I just did a search on YouTube, and I found him. And it was so simple, straightforward, and very easy to understand, And then, of course, his personality.
Yeah.
It was infectious. I mean, he was so friendly, and he still is. Hopefully, he's still friendly, and just inviting to people. And he had like a little bit of a line you couldn't cross, but it was not anything that anybody would object to and saying, no, he shouldn't have done it or whatever. Mostly it was some people that were kind of like not doing things appropriately. And Tina was a good policeman for that anyway.
Yeah. And Tina was with Reggie from the kitchen on, I think, wasn't she?
Yeah. She said the kitchen was fun. So you're up here.
Like the next Gibbon Gang reunion, we need to somehow make it the Tina special.
She won't come on screen.
I know, but there's got to be a way. Like, she lives on the other side of the country, I know, but I know that Brad, like, Alberta's pretty close. Like, he could zip down, like, knock on the door.
Well, I've told Tina she doesn't have to show herself if she's against that. She can just keep the camera off and join in the conversation.
Yeah, she could. We could just hear her voice.
Yeah, but you see what she just says?
Yeah, I don't like the attention. I know. So it wouldn't be attention if it's a voice. It would be just this voice in the ether.
We can do the voice distortion thing, so that way.
Yeah. Oh, we could do a voice distortion and just have a blacked out room. And as long as Doug doesn't take off his hat, they'll never know it's not
She's
Tina.
not listening. Hey, Mark, I know you've tried this before. It just doesn't work.
No, she won't.
Frog Brawler, the answer is no.
She's never appeared on camera.
No. So, Trev says, one of these days I'll.
There you go. Trev, you have a minute.
Trev, you might be the only person to be able to do that, I think, based on your interactions on the chat thing with her. Yeah. But we've been trying for a while. Don't work.
No.
So.
Oh my God, there's Mr. Bigger.
Hey,
and he didn't
Chris.
hear me saying nice things about DC.
Chris.
He didn't say anything nice about DC.
I did too.
You
did.
Maybe
that was off camera.
It was an accident.
It was an accident.
All right, second giveaway time. Thankfully, I'm asking the question.
Oh, come on.
This is Wonder Woman 750, the Torpedo Comics Jim Lee special edition, which they were selling for $25 back in the day.
Wow.
Probably not worth that now, but that's what they're selling. So if you get this question right, and it's a little bit difficult, okay? It's
we'll see.
But hopefully some people will get it. Because, I like all of these B and C list comic book characters. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorites is the Blue Beetle. So now I'm going to ask you a question. All right. And I think you'll know what the answer is based on what I just said. So it's the first person to write the answer down, right? So everybody's watching, right? What superhero? Now, I'm showing you, Mark. This is the way you do it, Mark, okay?
Okay, I'm listening.
What superhero identity is shared by the following three people? Dr. Daniel Garrett, Ted Cord, and Jaime Hernandez. It is not Booster Gold. Hey, Alan. Trev is right.
Trev.
The Blue Beetle. Excellent, Trev. You got it. I think I have your address, Trev. If not, I'll shoot you a note and tell you that I don't. So, Trev, you are the winner of this beautiful. Where is it? This beautiful Wonder Woman number 750, Jim Lee, Torpedo Comics exclusive cover. Congratulations.
A slight homage to her first appearance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Trev wins. Jackson. Oh, too bad, Jackson. You were not fast enough. All right. Yeah, Trev. Congratulations, Trev. No, it's not the gift. You guys are funny.
Good guess.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It is a good guess.
All right. So, my last kind of question for you guys or statement. You guys, I mean, I'm trying to. These are some notes I wrote down, but please feel free to come up with your own stuff if you want. From my standpoint, I mean, Reggie did so many different things that even went beyond, his YouTube channel, though they were all connected with them. So forth. Yeah. What was your favorite thing? I'm using the word thing because it could be anything, basically. I think I know what Doug is going to say, but what's the favorite thing that Reggie has done? In terms of like what was your favorite thing that Reggie did during his term on YouTube?
I'll give you an answer that you wouldn't have guessed, and that is GarageCon.
What was that?
GarageCon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it got us together in person, and we never, or for me, it was the first time I met friends that I met, online through the channel, and got to sit and have dinner and talk and learn about their family, and that was awesome.
Right. So, Chris says Reggie brought us all together, not just GarageCon, but just generally, right, with respect to that. Brad says Reggie's guests are all top notch, and that's true. He had some really good guests on all the time.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. Don says, I liked all aspects of what Reggie did, but GarageCon was special. Right.
Yeah.
And I met you. Yeah, we met Don down at GarageCon.
That's right.
Right.
The only problem with GarageCon is he always had it in November, and that's when the gates are closed, the borders closed, and we're up 6 feet of snow. So I could never travel.
And Chris likes it because Mark Andrews became one of my arch nemesis.
Everyone, all the good heroes have an arch nemesis that actually is just misunderstood and is a good guy.
That's funny. That's good. So do you guys think
I would say GarageCon also, because I mean that I regretted that I missed the first couple of ones because they were on the other coast, on the West Coast. When they came over here, it was great to. I'm going to echo what Doug and everyone else said. It was great to meet people in person and actually be able to, put faces with real faces as opposed to boxes, and find out what a humongous human being Wayne is. And
Wayne is probably almost as tall as Mark.
Wayne is taller than Mark.
Wow. Well, that's
tall in
some
Canada.
context.
Lots of snow. Like you gotta,
Mm-hmm. That makes him pretty tall. I mean, I stood next to you and I stood next to him. Yeah. So Tina says Wayne is 6'7".
Yeah. So I'm only 6'4".
Get out.
No, I am.
Jeez, when I stood next to you, I thought you were like 7'10".
I'm not gonna. You think I'm gonna make a crack about someone not being as tall as me, and I'm not, because that would be unkind, and it's your channel. But
you already made suggestions that for my Halloween costume I could be a dwarf. So
from
watch the Halloween special, everybody. Watch the Halloween special.
John Rhys Davies was the biggest member of his cast, and he played Gimli the dwarf. So it has nothing to do with stature; it's how you portray the character, Joe.
Right, Don, only. Yeah. Chris. Really? Oh, see, I've never met Chris.
Yeah, we haven't met Chris.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, wow,
what would be really something if we could, and we kind of did it when we did the baseball game, but that was pretty spontaneous. Like if we could, it would be really nice to somehow create GarageCon, but it's a pile of work, and you got to have the right venue, you got to have the right garage, and you got to have all those things, and it's just, man, it's a hard gig. But with the number of Comic Cons and stuff, like I know, Joe, you're meeting a whole bunch of people tomorrow.
I'm going to try to avoid them if I can. No.
Why is Bigger gonna be there?
No, I don't think so. Big, you're not coming to New York Comic Con, are you? I don't think so.
But I think that's kind of like the descendant of GarageCon is, hey, where are you guys going to be, and can we make it all? It would. They keep
a lot of people on YouTube have been going to Heroes Con in Baltimore.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's certainly the capability of selecting something, and maybe that might not be a bad one. I don't know. I've never been there, but they say it's really comic book related, as opposed to New York Comic Con, excuse me, which, I mean, Doug can tell you. I mean, other than the year after, was it 2021, Doug, when they reopened after the COVID?
Yeah.
They didn't have as many vendors and things going on, and there was a lot of room. In some ways, I loved it because there was so much room. And then right away in 2022, was it? I guess it was back the way it was. And, that's why I go on Thursdays also. I'm able to do that because I'm not working, so I'm able to go Thursdays. It's not as crowded. It's still crowded. Believe me, it's still crowded. but it's not as crowded. Friday,
Yeah.
I don't go on Saturdays or Sundays anymore. I mean, those are just, I mean, Fridays you can hardly walk in Artist Alley. You really can't.
And that's the same at Toronto. Fan Expo in Toronto is the same way. It's Saturday, Sundays are nuts. Thursday, Friday is pretty good. But again, to say, hey, everybody come on up to Toronto, like that's like saying, hey, everybody come up to Hawaii. Because for you guys to gather, like it's another country. It's like, you know, it's accommodations and everything. And I don't even live there. It's like 5 hours south of me. So
yeah,
that's true.
But I wanted to mention too online that I think, Joe, your comic book crowd has become a place where on a monthly basis, not a weekly basis, but on a monthly basis, a lot of people come together. Gary B's channel, that happens. And I'm sure there's, you know, others that we follow where that pops up. But I think there's still places where people come together online. And then, to Don's point, if you meet people who aren't too far away from you, whether it's at a con or I've gotten together a couple of times with friends to look for comics, a couple of times to go to baseball games like we did this summer, a Yankee game. I met Matt when I went to a Pittsburgh Pirates game. So it's just, you know, I miss that once or twice a week when we all got together. But I think between cons and occasionally getting together for a baseball game and, you know, just getting on the chat for the comic book crowd or Gary B show, it is a way to reconnect. And I appreciate that.
Well, and I think it's that staying connected as opposed to reconnect. And it makes it even more entertaining and makes it more meaningful. And you can really, you know, the very fact of the way this all started and that, you know, we jab each other a little bit, just a tad, but you're comfortable enough to do that. That is I think is pretty rare, and it's also pretty cool.
Colorado.
Yeah.
What's the elevation though? I have a difficult time if I go over 1,000 feet.
It's high.
Yeah, Colorado high.
It can be high.
Trev, you mentioned what am I going to get
in the summer.
Yeah,
I learned the hard way there.
Yeah, let me just answer Trev real quick. He says, "What am I going to get? Anything in particular?" I kind of prepare myself in a different way. I might actually tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up early, something like 6 o'clock or whatever, because I got a few more things to do. I might actually record a show to tell you what I'm going to do in those 2 days. In terms of what I'm going to get, I don't go in there. I know a lot of people go in there and say, "Oh, I want this particular exclusive or whatever else." I don't do that. I look through my comic books and see what I want to get signed. I also look and see what I want to get to try to close up stuff. And I'll put something together so people can see what my goals are. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so if you look tomorrow, probably up by 7, sure. You know, because I probably have to leave 8:30, something like that. The other thing is I don't know that I'm going to try to get there at 10. You know, Doug, I don't know, because you go in with a special pass or something, right? So you don't have to go through everything. But
yeah, it still takes a while to get in. But
right, but my point is, from last year, before they had this one area that was outside, and you lined up and they opened the doors and you went in, you know. But now they changed it. And when you go in, after you go through the metal detector and you go inside, they push you downstairs to where the theater is, you know, and the photo ops and the rest of that stuff. And they put us and they put all these separators on, and you just walked around. And then when 10 o'clock came, they just started moving like rows and rows upstairs. I didn't get upstairs until almost 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And when I got upstairs, people were just walking in, you know. So I may not get there at 10. I may get there at 10:30 or something like that, because I think if you come in once it's open and people are already going in from the herding, I think you could just walk in.
Yeah.
You know? and I'll probably save a half an hour.
Yep.
But anyway,
It's
so
always
look for
worse
the
on
video.
the first day too. It's always worse. Any of the big cons, it's a mess on the first day.
So, Joe, you have your list of all the books that Chuck and I have teased you about to buy?
No, you better send me a text on those because I don't remember.
It'll be a long text.
Very long text.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so yeah, I mean, so I do it a little bit differently with respect to that, you know. But so
Yeah,
Doug, what was your experience with Reggie and with Delia and the rest of that at New York Comic Con? You guys also went to San Diego that first year, right?
Yeah, San Diego was where the first issue of Isolation was released. That was a lot of fun. That was just Reggie and I. At New York Comic Con, Delia joined us one year. Beth joined us the next year. It was a lot of fun. It gave us some time just to hang out and chat in person about some things that we normally, would have to message each other, because Reggie, as you can imagine, was a very busy guy. So it was very, very rare that we could actually get on like a Zoom or a Teams meeting and have a 15-20 minute conversation. That was not the norm, so it's kind of nice. We get to hang out and chat a little bit and about what was working or what wasn't working or what we wanted to do differently. And it was fun. It was always a good time. I have very, very fond memories of those cons, especially San Diego the first time.
Yeah. That's still a bucket list thing for me, is San Diego.
Do it. It's
just even just once.
Yeah.
It's,
just remember, you got to buy tickets about a year in advance. So
yeah. Well, and also get accommodation and look at good flights and all that kind of stuff. Because if I do it, it's going to be like, okay, this year.
that's my expense.
Yeah. That's the big thing. So
well, my understanding is that that there's no other, that San Diego and New York, in terms of at least attendance and things that go on, are fairly comparable. Though I think San Diego gets a lot more because it's first.
Mm-hmm.
It gets a lot more of that kind of the dramatic, like new shows, new this, new that. And New York,
that's also.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say that's also because it's proximity to Hollywood.
Right.
It's so easy for the stars and the studios to go in person. So while New York has grown the celebrity element over the years, and there's quite a few, nothing can right. You walk around the floor on, like, one year at San Diego, walked by Tom Cruise, walked by Arnold Schwarzenegger, there's so many celebrities there, or at least there were for a time. I think it's still like that.
So you walk by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then you walk by Tom Cruise.
See, he's got this height prejudice. I mean,
I've actually got Danny DeVito, so it's.
Oh yeah,
Danny DeVito. Maybe I can see eye to eye with Danny.
Yeah, there you go. I'm in just outside of North Bay, Ontario. There, Jeff. You're asking where I am.
I should have worn my North Bay cap.
I wore Joe's shirt. I don't have a Doug Bratton shirt. When is Isolation going to have a shirt?
I'll work on that.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's one of the neat things about Heroes Con in Charlotte, is that it's still a very much a classic comic con. It doesn't have all the pop culture, so while you don't get all the celebrities and everything, you just get rows and rows of long boxes and an artist alley that's to die for. So that's one of the frustrating things here in Raleigh is we get GalaxyCon coming through, which is more celebrities than it is comics and stuff. So
Terrific Con up in Connecticut's a lot like that and attracts a lot.
I wanted to go this year, but I didn't get I couldn't go that weekend that it was there.
It's at the casino, so a lot of people stay overnight, hang out. There's a lot of nightlife. So I think it's a very social con, very comic book focused too.
Right. Yeah, that's one that I always wanted to go to, and the last couple of years, I just haven't been able to go that weekend, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And Toronto's Comic Con is like that, as opposed to Toronto's Fan Expo. Fan Expo is like New York and crazy and celebrities and all that stuff. And Toronto's Comic Con doesn't have hardly any of that, but it's all books and creators and a lot of independence. And it's actually, I don't want to say a better show, but it certainly is a different show.
Yeah. And some of those are good. I mean, down in Florida, I know I was going to actually meet Jerry, the Jitterbug, at the Route 110 show. They have it, I forget which weekend, second weekend or something like that, second Saturday of every month or what have you. And I just, I couldn't get there to meet him at a certain time, but in Florida, they have one in Fort Myers. I went last year and actually picked up some books. Because it was pretty good. Then there was another one, actually met Izzyverse in Poughkeepsie. It's the IACON, which is the International Artists something or other. And he was there because he's an artist, I bought a couple of things from him. And there were other artists there drawing stuff like that, but there were a lot of people with long boxes.
Yep.
And some of them were good. Like if you buy, a dollar box, but if you bought 15, it was $10, things like that. And I bought 15 because I was able to fill in some stuff that I needed, and there were other books that I was interested in, and so you had some stuff like that. A lot of giveaways and things as well. So you can find those type of shows, if you look for them, and if you're really a comic book collector, I kind of like that better in some ways than like New York Comic Con for that reason. You do have some vendors that are good for that. There were two. You guys introduced me to Zap Comics actually at New York Comic Con last year, and they did have some really good comic books at a reasonable price. And I loved going down to the store. I now have a Zap Comics card. There you go.
The punch card.
There you go.
Card. So I have two more to fill in, and I get what do I get? I get $5 worth of free merchandise. I don't know what that means. So, but it's a great store. So they basically bring the store down to New York Comic Con. So I'm looking forward to going through that. And I can't remember.
Those are both good stores.
I can't remember the name of the other one, but there's another vendor there that I always go to because he has all the books that you might want at reasonable prices. I know where he is, but I can't think of the name of it now. It's not a store that I would throw out a name for you at. Then you have the other guys there, and they have all these like beautiful books up there, and original art and all that type of stuff. But I'm not going to be spending. I mean, there's one book I wanted that I'll spend a few $1,000s on, but not now. And that's Brave and the Bold 28, the first Justice League. I got 29, I got 30. Only have 3 more books to get the entire first volume. So that's going to be the one that I have to get. But I have to wait for my house to be built before I even think about that.
And say, don't tell your wife about that one yet, Joe.
Yeah, no, that might not be a good idea.
I'm going to have to loan to some money. So I'm going to send it up to Canada, and Mark will get it. No?
You remember what I used to do, Joe?
That's why I figured you knew how to do it.
Yeah, and I'm not taking money from a New York lawyer. Just ain't gonna happen. I'll say something happened to me at the Toronto Comic Con that hasn't happened before, and it was because of Reggie. I got recognized by a vendor from being a guest on Reggie's show.
There you go.
And that was kind of, that was kind of different for me. When I know you, and I was kind of like, how? And that's what it was, and that was kind of cool.
See, even Jackson knows you have the agents out there looking for stuff. He's well aware.
Agents sound so, kind of insidious. They're just people like-minded. We're always looking out for each other.
That's how you say it.
Network. That's what it is. It's networking.
If you want a book just tell Mark, because he has about 20 people out there that are helping him get the books. That's why he has what? How many books do you have, Mark?
Some, a few,
You.
few around me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
There and there and there and there and there and
Are there
and
5 digits or 6 digits in your collection, Mark?
there's. Are we counting fingers or toes? There's a lot.
Okay.
So, Mark, did you give him an autograph?
I did not give him an autograph, nor did he seek one. He just was surprised. He just kind of fanboyed me, which that was kind of weird. Like,
Now, talking about GarageCon, I don't know who it was, but somebody at GarageCon asked me for my autograph. The first GarageCon I went to. I don't know who it was. I signed a book. He wanted me to sign a book or something for him. So I did. I said, okay. And I've been recognized at a couple of places also. Hey, you're Joe, right? I'm saying, who the hell is this guy?
yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, I watch your channel. I go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I must say, at GarageCon, I did that with 1 or 2 people who came up to me and they said, "Oh, hi, it's nice to meet you." And I looked at it and went, "I have no earthly idea who you are, but it's nice to meet you too." And get back in the car. My wife, she's like, "Who is that?" I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's funny.
She's like, "What do you mean you don't know?" I literally don't know.
Of course, this happens to Doug Bratton almost daily. So
Yeah, well, because
Never.
he's famous, so. And people are stopping him for his autograph, and can you sign this? And
there he
There's
is.
such thing as a famous cartoonist. Nobody recognizes him. If you bumped into Charles Schultz on the street when he was alive, 99.9% of people would know his creation, but would never know him.
yeah,
So-
right.
what a perfect thing to do in entertainment is to be anonymous. So
You can be known when you want to be known, and otherwise stay anonymous. Yep.
Yeah, Jeff. Matt was not feeling well tonight, so he had to beg off on that. But hopefully, he'll be on the comic book crowd a week from Friday. Hopefully, he'll feel better.
hopefully, yeah.
That they honestly they say, "Hey, it's Dave's brother."
Yeah.
Hey, how about another giveaway?
Sure.
All right, sure.
This is going to be a Reggie giveaway. So we're going to ask a question about Reggie. And this is really fantastic. Now, look what you could get. The OG, Reggie Collects Guide to Smart Comic Collecting, signed by Reggie. And even wrote down Reggie Collects underneath so you knew what it was.
So you know his name on that one. Most you don't. It's just
Right.
that star.
Doug Bratton. And this is let me see. There you go. This is a GarageCon 2021 special. All right. So this is a big one, especially because Reggie actually wrote Reggie Collect underneath his star signature.
Yep.
All right. So this is, I'm giving this away. Maybe I won't. No, okay, I'll give it away. Yeah. All right. So listen, Doug is going to ask a question. I think it's going to be Reggie related, right?
It will be. Yeah.
Okay. And the first person to put it in the comments will get that book sent to them. So go ahead, Doug.
I'm going with the more fun of the 2 questions. So,
okay.
All right, here we go. If something really bothered Reggie, what thing of his did it great?
So if something really bothered Reggie, what thing of his did it great?
Great. That grates my blank.
Is that Tina got that?
Yes, she does.
Oh, wow. My
Yep.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Tina says grates his cheese. All right, Tina, you got it.
There you go.
Congratulations. You get the
Thanks,
book.
Tina.
I got your address. I'll send it out to you. Nice. Yeah, he grates his cheese. That's right.
Yep.
So what's this? I know you don't spell his name with 2 G's, but I'm trying a blank. He used to say that all the time. That was so funny.
That's
Yeah.
why he got the grumpy old man T-shirt from me one time.
Oh, is that why? Okay.
Well,
All right.
he had Reggieisms, and I'm not remembering them all now, but at the time it was like "Grate's my cheese" and
Sweet
catch
Christmas.
a brick.
Yeah,
He
catch a
had-
brick.
He had a handful that were, you knew they were the Reggieisms.
All right.
Yep.
Right. All right. So, all right. So, I guess one more segment. Then, you know what? We're going to have a special giveaway.
Ooh.
One giveaway before we close out. But let's have one more segment here. Now, Reggie was always a big Spider-Man fan. But do you remember when he finally got his Spider-Man #1 graded?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
we supposed to
trying
give it
sell
away?
that book. What's that?
Are we supposed to give that away, or
Yeah, you can give that away. That's not the question.
Purple Label, dreaded Purple Label?
Yeah.
That's right.
Remember that? He was so disappointed
Yes, he
Uh-huh.
was.
because he had that for such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe he went out and he bought another one, right? And then he was
Yep.
trying to sell that one for like a few $1,000s. I don't know if he ever got he ever got to sell that, or not. But
I'm gonna go see if it's on ReggieCollects.com right now.
Yeah, 'cause it's been on there a long time.
Yeah.
We actually had a really good chat about black lights and that after that happened to him.
Yeah.
About why those are so handy in the
Yeah.
hobby, because they will usually light up sins of others. Quite
right, and
nicely.
it was some sort of color touch, wasn't it? If I remember
Yeah, it was
correctly.
a color touch.
Yep.
And that's hard to tell.
Yep.
When you look at that. I mean, one of my birthday books that I bought, and I bought it purposely with the purple label because it was cheaper, was the Wonder Woman from January 1951, and it was purple label because it has slight color touch. And believe me, I looked, and I couldn't, with my naked eye, could not see anything.
Yeah.
Could not see anything. So,
One of my Canadian whites is a purple label with a color touch, and it was literally I could tell it was a kid with a crayon. Like
sounds like me.
well, like
Well, we used to have the comic books back then, and if that was
Yeah.
#1, that was back in my time. And look at this. Let me color this.
yeah,
in.
and
It's coming loose. Put a little bit of tape on it. I mean,
yeah,
Just get an artist to draw over it and sign it and get it certified as a remark.
there you
yeah.
go.
Then you get rid of the purple label.
Exactly. Anyway.
That's true. Color touch can be removed, but you get a decreased grade most likely. Just have to scrape it off. Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So,
Artists erasers, Doug?
Yep.
And
but then you end up losing color and stuff. I mean, that's
if
the
it
problem.
bleeds
with
through, then it's problematic
Mhm.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got
But
some
the
of that
remark-
downstairs. I'm like,
yeah,
It works.
that's a great idea. I didn't think of that. You'd have to
Mhm.
first find where the color touch is, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Hope
Does
it's
it
not
come
on
in
the
black-
You get rid of safely. I mean, that's the other thing. So
yeah.
Does it come in? Do you see color touch under a black light?
That's what I've used to find. Yeah, some of that stuff
Oh.
is a black light. You can get you can buy the little.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have a couple of little
Yeah.
black flashlights that are the black light for my various hobbies of antiquing and stuff, and
Oh, right. Okay, sorry.
oh, those
Yeah.
those hobbies. Sorry,
those
Okay.
hobbies.
Those hobbies. Gotcha.
Get your minds out of the gutter. You're making Doug blush. Look at that.
crime scene investigation. That's
Yeah,
where my
that's
mind
it.
went, Mark.
Yeah.
Crime scene investigation.
The deaf remarks are good for something. Yep. Well, what do you guys do in the Great North? I don't know.
What? For hobbies?
What do you use the black light for? I don't know. Well, when I was a kid, here's what we used it for. Not that I partook in any of the accoutrements that went with it, but you'd have these posters on your wall, and you'd have the black lights, and the posters would glow.
Yeah.
And with some of my friends, at least, they glowed in various ways because of their condition.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I remember about Blacklight. So I wasn't even thinking about comic books until I heard
good.
like Reggie and all that about Black.
Blacklights, Joe, will highlight color touch. They'll highlight ink. They'll highlight glue. They'll all sorts of fun stuff. When you're doing antiquing for glass and stuff, they'll highlight cracks. They'll highlight. They're wonderful for all
good.
kinds.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been thinking of getting a Blacklight, so now you've kind of convinced me, because my wife and I go to antique stores and things all the time. She likes looking at that stuff. I kind of do. It depends.
Well, if you get you buy just a little small one, and it doesn't take a lot of space, and also the uranium glass really reflects nicely with it.
The uranium glass, yeah, I've heard about uranium glass too.
Yeah, and what happens in Canada stays in Canada. That's very true.
Did you get your pumpkin? Come on. We all want to know if you got the pumpkin.
Should I come back later? Boy, I can't wait for the off-air conversation about this one. Anyway, is there another giveaway, Joe?
All right, let's do our last giveaway. This is a special giveaway. And this is a great book. Another one which I said, I'm not a super Marvel fan, but I had this book. I glanced through it. It looked like a significant book. And I said, you know what? Let me give it away to people. They might appreciate it. The Ultimate Annuals. It's got about 4 or 5 of the annuals in here. You see, it's a thick book. Yeah. Weighs a lot. All right. Okay. So this is for the first person that can answer this question. Okay. Ready? Spider-Man was the first to have a costume made from an alien symbiote. The second was Eddie Brock, who became the villain known as Venom. Which comic book marked Venom's first full appearance? First full appearance.
Now we're going to start a fight.
F-U-L-L.
Yeah. You said mine was complicated.
Let's see. Oh, it's not complicated. It's easy to guess. Nope. Oh.
Venom's not the symbiote.
Right.
The actual.
Chris Bigger, the DC guy, gets it correct.
Oh,
excellent.
My Lord.
No.
Jeff, you're just a little bit too late.
Oh, wow.
Though he appeared in both Amazing Spider-Man numbers 298 and 299 briefly, Venom's first full appearance was in issue 300.
And his arm was in a Web of Spider-Man, supposedly. Web of Spider-Man 18.
That I didn't know, but that's okay.
I'm just telling you. Yeah. That's what they tell me.
Shove.
The
shove.
Right, exactly.
The shove that they retrofitted, yeah.
What is Bigger going to do with that? Like, he's going to shove it in a dark hole.
Bigger.
You can look at it with a black light.
Yeah.
You can appreciate a Marvel book now and then, right, Chris? He's not answering.
Yeah, I know.
He got so shocked he fainted.
He's just realized what he just did to himself.
Send it to him with Auburn merchandise too.
Yeah.
All right, Chris.
On the other hand, you can Frankenstein a cover from like a Silver Age DC and put around it so he feels better.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I put a DC book on top so when it gets mailed to him. All right. What did he say? He left the big smile. On the down low.
You especially be really ironic and make it inferior 5.
That would be pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be very ironic.
All right. Well, listen, guys, this was a lot of fun. I think it was. Thanks for suggesting it, Doug.
Good job.
I missed everybody.
Reggie said, long live the Gibbon Gang. He was big on us doing that, so we might do it more than once. He says, "Go at it, get at it and do it." So this is kind of fun. It's nice to do every now and then, I think. Mm-hmm. And it's really great when people participate. Is here, and I'll do it in the future too. I'll put the link at the top of the comments area. So if anyone wants to join, like Chuck did, you always can feel free to join the discussion. And just kind of part of what we do is kind of reminisce a little bit, right, about things that happened with Reggie and perhaps our interactions with him and so forth. And we try to duplicate a little bit of what he does. So we talked a little bit about new comic books today. We did some trivia giveaway, and we'll probably do something similar to that in the future. And let's see. Pretty Fly says, can we have the next meetup on a weekend? Well, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Hey, Randy.
There's Randy.
Hey, yeah. Randy, you made it.
Wow,
just as we're finishing up.
Good to see you.
Well, that's okay. You do important work, Randy.
Yeah.
So it's
Tina
okay
can only do Tuesdays and Wednesdays nights, folks, because of her silly schedule. So
who's that?
Tina.
Yeah.
Oh, only Tuesday and Wednesday nights? Okay.
We'll have to figure something out.
Yeah. We'll see. All right, guys. So with that, I think we had a great Gibbon Gang reunion 2.
Hope so.
All right. And we'll do it again a few months or 6 months or whatever in the future when we probably when Doug starts to get withdrawal pains again.
Yes.
He'll write to me and say, I think it's time for another Gibbon Gang reunion.
Yep.
All right. And so I had a lot of fun tonight. Hope you guys did too. Hope everybody in the chat had fun. If you're watching it on a replay, take a look, see what we might do it again. Feel free to join us either live or through the chat. And, we'll just reminisce about the Gibbon Gang, Reggie Collects, and have a good time. And with that, I think we'll say good night to everybody. Take care.
Night. Be safe.
Night.
Good night.
Do I have an outro on this? I don't have an outro either. So I'll just use the regular outro.
Sing,
Joe and I will see you at New York Comic Con.
That's right. I'll be there tomorrow if you're going to be there. And I'm going to put together a video when I sign off here with these good guys. Or tomorrow morning. I'll probably do it tomorrow morning because I'm tired now. I'll get up early, do a video as to what my plans are for Thursday and Friday. Now, I won't talk probably about meeting Doug Bratton and his brother and the other cartoonists on Friday, but I'm going to do that as well. Okay? So if you're going to be down there, check us out. Thursday for me on Friday, and Friday for Doug and the Bratton Bros. All right, take care, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Night.
Take care.
Night.